Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode of the BunghettiCast. I'd like to thank all of our Patreon supporters. Swandizzle. He's the only one. Let's go, baby! Let's go! Also, podcast is on Spotify, so if you can't watch on YouTube or it's like hard or annoying, it's on Spotify, so you can watch it or listen to it while you drive or do other stuff, and right on your phone, easy peasy. Also, Patreon. If you want to support me there, you can. So, you can ask Ethan Swandizzle, our first guest of the podcast today.
Mr. Bunghetti's got some pretty nifty, if I do say so myself, it's got some pretty nifty content on that Patreon. So go do yourself a favor, go check it out. Got some goodies, lots of goodies.
You get videos early, your name at the end of videos, a little bit extra stuff here and there. Thank you, Ethan Swandizzle. I would also like to introduce our other guest. He's been on a few times. We have Anthony, Sechsy Studios.
Oh yeah, hello internet. Welcome to Game Theory. No, Game of the Year awards. We're not doing no theories. Hello.
But that's just the theory. He's in
It's just a theory.
He was in the FNAF movie.
He was. I groaned audibly when he showed up.
There were a couple times where I groaned audibly. The first one was when Chica showed up, but
that kind of groan.
The other ones they weren't so pleasurable.
I haven't seen it yet, but does the bite of 87 happen?
No.
Does it?
No.
Okay. All right. Probably not going to watch it then.
There's some better bites though. There is a really good bite, so I wouldn't.
With the bite of 23.
There is a really good, but it's set in the year like 2000, I think. So
yeah, they have the old flip phones.
It's a fun time. I enjoyed myself. It's not perfect by any means, but it was fun. It's a good time.
It's for kids. The animatronics were sweet.
Yeah, built by the Henson Puppet Company.
Yeah.
Which is always cool because it's Jim Henson's company, and yeah, they do lots of cool stuff lately. So
was that the bite of 87?
I'm excited for a sequel.
There's a good chance. I think they might have had like a certain movie deal signed.
I thought it was for 3
films.
They
made so much money. Like, it's ridiculous. That opening weekend was insane for the FNAF movie. It's like, that was Blumhouse's biggest opening ever, I think. Above Halloween. So, yeah, there's a second one coming and a third one. It's going to be a trilogy,
Freddy
apparently.
Fazbear.
FNAF fans are ravenous.
Well,
that's not the word I wanted.
That's
there.
a big word.
Ravenous.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay.
There's a lot that they can do, obviously, because there's a bunch of shit in the games. Springtrap. Anyways, we're not here for Five Nights at Freddy's. We're here to talk about the Shell Out Game Awards.
Woo! We can have salty comments for weeks, baby.
That's why it's the GOAT.
Yeah. The GOAT.
My game is better than your game because it won Game of the Year. So you're like a fool. You're like a loser for playing your game.
Yeah, I can't believe you even like a game that didn't even get nominated. Scrub.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Whoa. We're getting... I see. You know what's funny is that all of the sudden I've seen a lot of ads for Hogwarts Legacy. Like they're trying to remind people.
That's because it just dropped on the Switch.
Oh,
it literally just came out on the Switch.
Oh.
So yeah, that's why.
I thought it was...
And it looks like butt on the Switch. They should stop doing that.
Yeah.
Like, have you guys seen Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch? I mean, we'll talk about Mortal Kombat in a bit here.
I don't think I even want to see it. I can already imagine.
Well, Mortal Kombat 11 was already bad enough on the Switch, so I'm like, why are you guys even doing this? I did not see why it even needed to be a thing.
It prints money. Actually, maybe it doesn't. Who is buying Mortal Kombat on Switch?
People that only have a Switch.
I guess so.
Because, I play Mortal Kombat for the story. I know, come for the gore, stay for the lore kind of thing. So that's really all. I paid $70 for 4 hours of story, and I couldn't be happier even still, so.
And, like, 1 is like a reboot, right? Because it's obviously not the first one.
It's a timeline reset.
Okay.
Like, they've done... This is the third timeline reset, I think.
I think it's the third timeline.
Well, because I mean, if you played
Perhaps.
Mortal Kombat 11, it makes sense because I don't know if you guys played 11 or not.
They reset it for
But-
9, and then in between 11 and
Well, yeah. So
1.
9X and 11 are one timeline, and then it might be the. Yeah, no, it's confusing because the first 3 Mortal Kombats, I don't know how it works. I think the whole first continuity is the first games, and then you got what is it? Deadly Alliance, Deception, and Armageddon. I think are all the same thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Armageddon was
Well,
good.
yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then those I think are all right.
And then everybody dies in Armageddon, and then Raiden's like, "He must not win," and sends a message back, and that's where we start at for 9, I do believe. And then, so the 9, because Raiden sent back a message, which changed the events of those games. And then, I don't want to spoil too much if people are still trying to play Mortal Kombat lore and for the lore and whatnot, I guess. So
Was there?
it is fun though.
Was there one called like Shaolin Monks or something? Like,
Yeah,
Shaolin
and
was
it,
so
It was
good.
like third person, like beat 'em up or something. Is that? Yeah, God,
You were not Raiden. You were Liu Kang and
the other guy with the hat.
Kung Lao.
The other hat guy.
Kung Lao.
Yes, hell yeah, that was good. I like that one.
Yeah. All right, are we gonna get into the Game Awards then before we
Perhaps.
just keep
Let's get right into the news.
Chris Brown beats
It's
women.
the most wonderful time of the year. All right.
Okay, so Game Awards. There's gonna be a lot of hot takes. Maybe. Well,
Probably.
I know which one I think is going to win, and I know which one I want to win.
So we're starting with Game of the Year, right?
yes.
Just the first actual category, Game of the Year.
Yes, so we're going off of, it's just called the Game Awards. It's the one that's hosted by like Jeff Keighley every year. It's kind of goofy, but they put a lot of effort into it. But
Well, this is the big game of show, like, because there was the Joy-Con Awards or Joystick Awards or
Yeah.
something like that, like last month. And I think Baldur's Gate won that one. So,
hell yeah.
but they were a little different too. Like they had Diver Dave in like their main game for Game of the Year.
That's like
I had
indie,
not heard
right?
Diver Dave. Yeah, and it is on this list at some point here. I saw it in here.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's for indie game, but it's not really an indie game.
But yeah, let's get right into this. So what do we got here first? Alan Wake 2, which none of us have played, right?
No,
Whoops.
but I can have a friend call in.
Okay.
He'll be good to go. Really cool people of the show on the first weekly gig episode. He called in as well when we talked about horror games. He talked about Fear.
Ooh,
Wow.
I love Fear.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother topic, though.
I think the box art was too scary, and I never played it.
To be fair, Fear is more of a first-person shooter than it really is a horror game because you're not. It's weird.
The marketing though made me scared to play it.
Oh, me too. But then I
Well,
did play it, and I'm
the
like,
girl-
it's just kind of like
She's
Call of Duty, but with some ghost girl following you
Yeah.
around the whole game.
Yeah, Alan Wake 2 is the first on the list. It's just alphabetical, right? Yeah.
I think so. Yep.
Next up we have Baldur's Gate 3 by Larian Studios, D&D.
Which I
Style.
have not played, but you guys said you played it a bit, right?
I have played it, and I
Yeah.
love it.
I haven't played it, but like I've seen so many people streaming it, and I've heard like so many good things. But my question is that they're classifying this as a CRPG, and can somebody tell me what the hell what does that mean? I know what an RPG is. but what-
CRPG?
like yeah.
Is it because it's more like your
I don't know.
Knights of the Old Republic game, isn't it?
computer RPG instead of like a tabletop.
I guess so, but is it only on computer? Can you play it on
No,
console?
it's
or
on
no?
PS5. It is on
see?
PS5. I'm not sure how it works entirely. That's why I haven't bought it yet because I do believe my PS5 is mouse and keyboard. Like I can do that on there, I think. Because it just looks hard with a controller. Like
yeah, there's a lot of menus. I'll give it that.
and lots of clicking around to walk around or I mean you move around, but you have to click on a lot of things and you can during battle and whatnot, it looks way easier to have your mouse set up and whatnot.
Yeah,
I don't know much about it though.
It's not impossible, but
What I do know, though, is that the content for Baldur's Gate 3 is still going strong on TikTok in terms of fan edits and art people have drawn and, like little cartoons where they have the characters talking with different audios and whatnot. all of that is still incredibly strong with Baldur's Gate. And how long has this game been out now?
Everybody's so horny.
That's
a given.
It came out in August. Okay, so it's been a couple months and people are still going nuts for it. So, but I think the PS5 release,
Yeah, it came out a little bit later.
it was a month later in September. So I mean, but still, that's a good solid run here because it's already the end of November and it's still going strong on there. So that's very good. And they did win, like I said, they won that other award this year already for the different, whatever that award show was.
Yeah.
They did win that whole thing. So
They won a joystick.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, we can get more into
it
it.
is definitely a top contender.
As we argue.
Even without playing it, I can tell that I think we'll get there, but I have a prediction for what I know is going to win regardless. I don't care what anybody says. I know it's going to win, but this other one, this Baldur's Gate 3, this Bald Hair Gate, it looks cool even without playing it. I'm sure I'll get into it sometime.
Innovative as all hell too. That's the thing with this entire list here right now. We got 3 sequels, a remake, and a Mario 2D platform. Like, it is the most innovative game in here.
It's got a lot going on.
Yeah, it's the most out there. Yeah, that's true. They're all sequels or like. Well, I guess Baldur's Gate 3 is technically a sequel.
Yeah, but it's totally a departure from the first 2, from what I understand too, because the first 2 are on the Switch. I have not actually played them yet.
Oh wow!
So I know they're not.
Yeah, it's closer to Divinity: Original Sin.
And the fact that other game companies were like, whoa, this is not the standard, okay?
Yeah.
We're not doing this. They were freaking out over this game. So, like...
Love it.
Blizzard was shaking in their britches when they saw Baldur's Gate 3, because Diablo 4 is nowhere on this list, on any of these categories from what I saw. And because people were talking about Diablo 4 for
so bad.
What day did that actually come out? Because as soon as Baldur's Gate dropped,
or like early, yeah, it was gone.
As soon as Baldur's June 5th, it was a whole month or 2 months, I guess, before Baldur's Gate. But yeah, it did not. It did not do well late term. I know they changed some stuff, so it was more. They threw not like a battle pass, whatever they want to call it, though. I'm pretty sure in there and all that jazz and. Yeah. What's the word I want for that kind of game? It's the I can't think right now.
Leveling. I know they messed around with like the experience and stuff too.
Yeah,
battle pass.
It's
and like inventory management.
Not a battle pass. Yeah, but it's not pay to win necessarily. But there's a lot of microtransactions, and Baldur's Gate 3 was like
free to play.
No, we're not having any of that.
Thank God.
Yeah. Well, it's not free to play, but you still had to spend all your money on it. You still had to buy Diablo 4, and then there was also microtransactions for stuff. I think it was just cosmetics and whatnot, but still, like, that's always fun.
Yeah, they did have like a battle pass type thing. That's true, because I remember somebody was talking about it. They're like, I don't want to play this game, but I have to because I bought the pass.
Yeah, so you had to keep logging in every day, get your rewards and all that kind of stuff, and it's the Blizzard model of things they're doing lately. So
next up, Spider-Man.
Yeah. Okay, so have you guys played Spider-Man 2?
No,
I haven't. I finished the first one and I really liked it, and I'm sure this one's good too. But
I'm at the tail end of it. It's fantastic. It's so good. It is phenomenally fun to play. It's definitely not game of the year though. I can tell you that much. I am a little bored by the end of it. It is getting very repetitive.
I heard it was,
and but the exploration's fantastic, and the story is great. It's very there's a lot of moments in the game where I'm like, this feels more like a horror game than a Spider-Man game, and I'm like, that's super cool.
I did hear that the overall story is more interesting. It's a lot better than the last one, but it's also really short.
My complaint with Miles Morales was there was not enough villains. There was 3 villains in Miles Morales, which was super disappointing. I guess 4 if you count Virtual Vulture for a fight, but and then this one, Kraven stole a lot of the bad guys from the first game and killed them off. So like, there is a few in this game still, but it's like, I want bad guys. I want my super villains in my Spider-Man game, please. But I'm hoping with the DLC we'll get more and whatnot and see where they go from there. But I think they blew their load too quick doing the Sinister Six in the first game.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what do you do after having 6 main plus others, right?
But I did see a interview with them. They're like, "Are you guys worried about running out of villains?" And like, no, absolutely not. So we'll see what happens. And obviously, Venom is dope as fuck, and like it's very akin to the Spider-Man 3 movie story with Peter becoming a dickhead.
Yeah,
and all
Pizza
that jazz.
time.
It's just good.
Dancing.
It's great. Yeah, pizza.
I failed to see
No
that's my
dancing.
problem.
No, it's a great game. I just don't think it's game of the year. Super fun game, but it's not pushing any boundaries except for like the loading screens and whatnot because there's hardly any. You switch from Peter to Miles like instantaneously, and you can fast travel instantaneously, but nobody's fast traveling anyways. So
yeah, because everybody wants to swing around because it's so good.
and the wingsuit, and there's like what's it called? There's wind tunnels and whatnot with the wingsuit. So it's just I've done the fast travel like twice throughout my whole playthrough because I'm just impatient right now and I have stuff to get done. So I want to just go over here quick and hop over there and yada yada yada. But
it's a tough year for
game.
games.
Highly recommend. Yeah, absolutely.
When you're going up against some of the others in this list, a great game is still not the biggest runner.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and then we got Resident Evil 4, right? Like remake. Which I don't know how I feel about remakes being on here, but I do think it was transformative enough to be here, if that makes sense.
That's
my
what
argument. I wondered. I was like, I'm sure it's awesome, and it's got to be amazing. But I'm like, are you even allowed to be a game of the year if you're a remake? I don't know.
If it was
I
a
only
remaster,
played the demo, and the demo was completely different.
If it was a remaster, 100% no. But
even still, like, so I don't think Dead Space should be here because Dead Space is more of a 1-to-1 recreation, from what I understand.
Yeah,
and this feels like they did a lot more things with it.
They did. It's I mean, there is still a lot of like it's the same game, really. Most of the story's the same. But like the layout is different. It's not completely different, but a lot of the layout is different. A lot of the order you do things or like what you have to do for certain things is different. The combat's different.
As opposed to Dead Space, I don't think any of that is really different. I think it's just the Dead Space seems more like a remaster at this point, but built from the ground up, if that makes sense, which would be a remake still, but
right. Yeah,
I don't think from what I've seen,
it's
Dead
more
Space
akin,
is just the same thing.
It's more akin to a remaster.
Yeah, because it's the same combat mechanics, it's the same story, except they did add your dude gets dialogue in the remake, which is odd for Dead Space, anyways.
Oh.
But yeah, apparently not good enough to be here.
They added the shooting range.
Ooh.
You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. When Resident Evil 4, I never got past the first part in the village with the guy with the chainsaw. Like it was.
That's fair.
God, it was hard. And honestly, I wasn't even like a little baby man or anything. Like I was an adult. I was playing it, and I was like, I can't figure this out. What am I doing wrong?
See,
somebody got to show me.
I never played this game as a kid. So even as an adult, though, it took me forever to get past Chainsaw Man. Once you figure out the strategies for it, it's easy.
Chainsaw Man. Yeah, in the original, you can just run away from them for long enough, and it'll eventually stop.
But then you don't get all the gold and stuff like that. The easier thing to do is go to the building with the shotgun, and then you get around the corner. And then you can have your back completely cut off, and you just pick them off one by one there, and then you do get the rewards for killing Chainsaw Man and whatnot. So
there is a tower too that you can exploit, and in the remake,
tower is different though too because I did do the tower thing the last time I was playing.
In the remake,
it does work, but
the floor breaks if you.
Oh, see, in the original though, they start throwing Molotovs up there, so you can get hit by those. Even if you're in the right corner, you will still take a little bit of damage, but you won't die.
Yeah, in the remake. They're like, nah.
I am curious. I still want to play the Resident Evil 4 remake at some point. I'm just not buying it for full price because I know I won't fully get through it, I'm sure.
It's the only game on this list.
But there is an easy mode in this, so the original game does not have an easy mode.
I don't think so.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Even the remasters don't have easy mode. It's a bit ridiculous. I like
hard,
playing my easy modes lately.
Yeah.
I am more invested in the story half the time when I'm playing games, so I want just a chiller experience, and I do believe the remake lets me do that. At least all the other remakes do, so.
Psh. Super Mario Wonder. Complete opposite tonal shift.
Yippee! Mamma mia!
It's a fine game. It's a 2D Mario platform. If that's your thing, that's great. But the way people were hyping up, I'm like, I bought it because I'm like, whatever, I'll stream it for a bit. And because I was expecting a little bit more just because the way everybody was hyped city about this thing. And it's a Mario 2D. It's 2D platforming Mario. It's the same thing we've gotten. The animations look fantastic, though. The trippy levels are really cool.
Is it better than
I think
Mario?
Ethan's played it more than I have.
Mario U.
Yeah, I'm on Worlds. I just started the World 6, which I think is like the last one, excluding like the special world, and like it's super fun. It's exactly what you would expect out of a 2D Mario. You're going left to right. You're getting some power-ups. They got a few new power-ups. That's pretty sick. They got the elephant. You'd be the elephant Mario. You'd be the bubble man. You'd be a big bubble toad if that's your fancy. There's the drill one. There's probably some that I haven't even like encountered yet. And like music's fun, animation's beautiful, like it's super fun. But I don't know, man. I don't think when you're looking at like game of the year, I think it has to be like an all comprehensive, like how does it sound, how does it look, how does it feel, how is the story? And if you're looking for a story in a 2D Mario game, it ain't it, Chief.
Well, and how different is it from the other games that have come in the series too? And it's really not. I mean,
absolutely
it looks
not.
great. But it's just the animations they turned up to
Just
11 and they
another
look
Mario.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And like the singing piranhas is great. I do think even though the power-ups are really cool, I don't think they're as cool as they have been in past games. Like I think Cat Mario is way cooler than Elephant Mario. I've always liked Tanuki Mario and all that jazz. Like Elephant is fine and all, but it's kind of derpy looking.
It's like
And there's a
super
lot of
handy,
elephant.
but it's like hella basic. It's like, oh, what?
And there's a lot
Elephant
of
Peach.
elephant is the thing though too. I like Bubble Mario and Drill Mario a lot, but the levels that you actually get that in are next to nothing compared to Elephant Mario.
Yeah, that's true. Also, I have a weird question. I don't know where, like, okay, so when you're Elephant Mario, you're like elephant color, right? Okay, when you're like Luigi elephant, you're like elephant color. When you're like Toad and like Peach elephant, they have like skin tone. I don't know. It weirds me out.
I guess I've only played as Daisy, Luigi, and Mario. And Daisy, I think maybe it might be just the outfits that are kind of like the whole. Like, have you done that test thing where you put your finger in between two colors and they are the same color? When you take your finger away, the backgrounds make them look like different colors. It might be something like that too.
I am partially colorblind, so it could be a me thing.
Color theory.
But that's just a theory.
Let me look up Peach elephant mode.
Yeah. Elephant mode activated.
The first search was elephant inflation.
No.
Power up. No, she's a little pink.
It's a little pink elephant.
She is a little pink.
And you go Mario elephant mode, and I'm like, why is it gotta be
they're still
different?
gray.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of strange.
Yeah, I do. No, you are right though. It is not a trick of the light or anything. She's definitely got a pink hue to her. Let me try Daisy. Because I think Daisy's pretty gray.
She's probably orange.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, a little orange. Yeah.
Orange.
I'm wrong. Elephant.
Oh, no,
elephant
this
Toad
art
is
is
still
awful.
gray. What is there, like original fan art or something?
No, already. You know there is. You know it.
It's
Oh God, no.
one of those rules.
I knew that, so that's also why I was just like, no, I don't want this power up. Please take this back, Nintendo.
Oh my god.
Do they know what they're doing?
People are making like Smash Melee textures. You could play as Elephant Daisy.
Oh no.
What?
Nice.
Any more to say about Super Mario Wonder though? It's hard to talk about, even I feel like.
It's a beautiful
it
game,
is
but
what
is
it
it ever
is.
going to be Game of the Year? No. I don't
No, not
I don't
at
think
all.
so.
Okay, and
yeah,
last but not least, Tears of the Kingdom. All right, so Alan Wake. I'm just being a goofball.
Yo, all I gotta say, Alan Wake 2, I watched an IGN review and it convinced me that it is a good game. You can say what you want if it's a credible source or not, but it looked like John Wick meets like Fever. No, what was I thinking? I can't remember. Like John Wick took some edibles or something, and like that was the game.
Some PCP.
Yeah, I took some ecstasy. And
No, the cover art looks fantastic. I am curious about it. I might watch a playthrough because the scary games are harder for me to do it and harder to justify $70 on. But
Yeah.
It looks great. But anyways, Tears of the Kingdom though, are we gonna talk about that or just
Nah, I don't think I want to.
the GOAT. Yeah. Look,
So no matter how much I talk bad about Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, it is still a fantastic game. It is still a fantastic game, even though I don't think they're the best Zelda games. My God, is it a fun time though?
We can owe
It's
a
so
lot
good.
to Tears of the
it's
Kingdom.
so good. It's just
Breath of the Wild also won Game of the Year, did it not?
Yeah,
Oh, actually, let's just, even if it didn't, I'm just gonna believe it did.
probably.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
All right, confirmed.
No, it won the DICE Awards. What's the DICE Award?
Dicey.
Was it 2017? Yeah, 2017 Game of the Year, the Game Awards.
Yeah, I
Breath
don't
of the
know.
Wild.
Yep,
Tears of the
Breath of
Kingdom
the Wild.
is. I
I think the mechanics are better in Tears of the Kingdom, I'm gonna be honest. I think they're more fun. After going back and playing through Breath of the Wild after it has come out, I do find myself having more enjoyment from the arm and the building and just that kind of stuff. Attaching the arrows to everything.
It
the
is
depths.
different, but is it that different? It is that different.
I'm not gonna say, because there's a lot of people who are like, well, Tears of the Kingdom is just DLC for Breath of the Wild. It's like, shut the fuck up. It is not.
No, it's
I
definitely
can't
not
stand
that.
Yeah.
There's just something to be said about like the exploration, that it's like literally anywhere you can think of going, you can go there, and you can go there however the hell you want. Like it's just so satisfying to just think of literally anything. I'm gonna strap a rocket to this plywood. Oh my god, now we reached an island in the sky. Like it's so cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so much fun to just run around and do whatever you want. My biggest complaint though is probably that the
Yup.
same with Breath of the Wild, the collectathon kind of things don't really give you a good reward.
Yeah.
I'm
and
never
also-
gonna get the
dude-
Koroks. Never.
The dude who you're building signs for, I think that's a really fun idea, but you don't get anything for finding all of them.
You get food. Oh, for all of them? Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you
I don't
like
think
a
there's
little
a real
treat.
reward from what I saw online, which is super disappointing because they're really hard to find all of them in the first place. And yeah, I don't think. Hold on, what's the Hudson sign?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what they're called.
with
I don't
games
know. It was
like
fun
this,
the first time, and then maybe not the
Huge-
seventh.
huge sandbox games where you get to do whatever you want is amazing, but they also kind of lose a little bit of direction. It's hard to make specific
you get a
puzzles,
paraglider.
and it's hard to design stuff around it because people can
the
just do whatever the
temples are
fuck they
definitely
want.
better though.
That's them better than
They
Breath of the
definitely
Wild. Yeah.
improved. Yeah, they improved the temples. They're still not perfect though, by a long shot. I feel like they
And the
kind of ran out of
shrines.
steam after because the getting up to the wind temple was super cool with all the boats and things and the flying around. That was dope. I thought the fire temple was a lot of fun
Yeah.
with the mine carts and whatnot. If you played it right, because you could also just break it. I did it correctly and it was fun. It took me a minute to figure out where I was supposed to go.
I
you
broke the hell out of that.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people did. That's the issue with these games in general is that you can just. I broke the hell out of the water temple because it was just irritating. Like this, it wasn't a
Duplication
fun place.
glitches for money.
The boss in the water temple was the biggest joke I've ever seen for a boss ever in Zelda. Like, what was that thing? It wasn't fun.
I don't know. I didn't make
challenging.
it there.
It was a little goofy.
Yeah, it was.
I
I
was
thought for sure he was gonna have a big second form.
I was too busy making penis videos about this game. All right, I couldn't play it.
Tips of the Kingdom.
But yeah, I have not beaten Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom though. If I'm being entirely
Oh my
honest.
God,
So
what?
Neither.
bro?
Me.
I get distracted
neither.
by the end of it. I'm trying to beat the end of Tears of the Kingdom right now, and I just keep getting distracted by something else. I don't know
Open
where to
world
go.
games kill me.
Yeah, it's a bit too open. And a
Um,
lot of the times it's a vague quest thing too, which is irritating to where it's just like, I don't know, go find this guy. And there's no marker, which I know not everything needs a marker, but also some hints would be nice.
points against Tears of the Kingdom. Sorry, Swan. If you're gonna talk about that more, go first.
I can give you points against Tears of the Kingdom, but I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay. Points against Tears of the Kingdom. Breath of the Wild, you really could do it in any order. Tears of the Kingdom, you could still do it any order, but they're like, you you should probably do this thing first. You should probably go this way first. I mean, you still can do it in any
There
order.
was a difficulty
but,
spike though in Breath of the Wild that I feel like isn't here with the Guardians.
or like you could
To
beat
where the Guardians keep, but the Guardians keep you on track so much better than Tears of the Kingdom though too, because when you go to a place, you're like, oh, I clearly should not be here right now because I'm just getting murked. As I don't think that's in Tears of the Kingdom as much. That's which I do like because the Guardians make exploring not fun for me, especially early on.
You could also go to the final boss in Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild first, which is cool.
Instantly, yeah, right? Like
Oh,
that's true freedom.
I guess you can't in this one, right? Because you got to do all the like champion quests. Hey, I never thought about that.
Yeah, and like the weapon.
which I do think is neat I think it's better for a Zelda game to have more structure though. That is my point for your point against.
Weapon breaking kills me.
Me too. I just want just a new 2 or 3 more unbreakable weapons we paired with the cooldown. I'm fine with that.
It makes sense a little bit in Tears of the Kingdom because you can fuse stuff with them and like it's kind of permanent, but I still have a hard time with that stuff.
Yeah, I just want, like, when I beat a temple, I just want a new thing, a new shield, something fancy. I know you get the stuff in Breath of the Wild, and I think it's the same in this too, where you do get the weapons for beating it, but then you have to build them, and they take a lot of really high expensive material to actually do.
I don't want to use my good weapons because they'll break.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why the amiibos kind of, break it too, because I have the amiibo cards, and I get all these really cool weapons from that, so I'm never super worried about that. Because I get, like, the Dawn swords, I get the Fierce Deity's sword. You get all sorts of cool stuff from those, and I've never run out of weapons, so.
You're a cheater,
Baller.
pumpkin eater.
Okay,
It's in the system.
my one gripe that I'm gonna just say is I like the fusion system, sure, cool, and I like that they made like a quick start menu, but there's like no good way to like filter it. I know it's like filtered by like most used or whatever, but like there's literally too many things. There's so much crap
Oh my gosh.
to go through. I want to
Attaching
click
shit.
like save it to favorites, and here's like the 4 things that I always want always.
Which, I mean, is kind of the thing with the most used, because generally speaking, they are up top there, but...
And there's like that one thing where you're just like, here's this one specific thing that I need right now. I don't use it very often, and then I'm like wasting my time trying to find it. I know it's like first world problem.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so it is kind of nice because they are sorted by, like, these ones are electric things, these ones are fire things, these ones are water things. They do get sorted like that at least.
True.
So it's not the worst thing when you're looking for something like that, but you're right, it is not perfect either.
I wish there was a better way to fuse things.
Like, what do you mean?
There's
You
like
need
dropping it or
the auto
what?
make?
No, just like onto like a weapon or something. Because don't you have to like drop it on the ground and then?
No.
Oh.
You use the quick menu,
Wait,
right?
but can you do that for swords and shields?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm like 100
Can't you?
hours in, and I don't think I knew that.
Or like
Can't you just like push something on the D-pad to fuse with it?
Well,
Or
for
like-
arrows,
Like,
I know.
you open up the fusion thing and it's like, do you want to fuse? I could have swore you can do it with the menu.
You're
or
probably
like
right.
putting things onto
I might be wrong,
arrows.
though,
You have
too.
to fucking scroll sideways through 1,000 items.
That's what I'm talking about.
But even
That
if you
one's
can't, you
tough.
can just drop it from that same menu, though, right? If that is the case, too. I could be totally wrong. It's been a minute since I've played Tears of the Kingdom, so...
I think
Honestly,
Maybe we'll actually
same.
get a comment. Someone
I
correcting
haven't,
us.
I
Maybe someone will
haven't
actually
played
listen
the
to
game in so long. Any more
but yeah,
against?
No, I mean, other than the fact that it's not super innovative again. I mean, it is, but it isn't. The fact that they got it to work on the potato that is the Switch is so impressive, but...
I wish it was
I
easier
do-
to get more battery
I do think
life.
Baldur's Gate is going to win the whole thing, if I'm being entirely honest.
Really?
I
Yeah, I think
Arguments-
it's Tears of the Kingdom, but if it's not, Baldur's Gate, baby.
those are the two big ones, though. I don't think the other ones have a chance.
Arguments for Tears of the
Just be-
Kingdom, though. It's huge. There's a lot to do. It is polished. It looks amazing. Playthroughs.
But that's the thing. Baldur's Gate has all those things too. Is like
Yeah.
it's going to be close because it's what I think 10% of the actual. I was looking into it the other day. The players' votes count for 10% of the actual vote, and then the other 90% is up to the critics, I do believe. So there is a weird disconnect in how this voting thing works. So it's not just fans voting for these things. It is like a team of people that are
10%.
So
Ugh.
I do believe is what I saw. I could be wrong on that too, but
Hey,
Whatever.
I'm looking at the topics or the whatever the thingy on the website, okay, and it says Nintendo EPD.
yeah, I was looking at
What
that
is-
too. I was wondering what
What the hell is that?
entertainment protection distribution.
Wow.
I have no idea what is it.
So here's
What is
why I think
Nintendo?
Baldur's Gate's going to win.
Planning and development.
Yeah, what do you got?
I love Baldur's Gate. Although I'm in the camp of like 50% of players that haven't gotten past Act 1 yet. There's a reason, and it's because I'm playing with my girlfriend and we're just so busy all the time. I'm about to start Act 2, all right? Get off my back. I haven't even seen the best shit. And it's so good. It is so good. The fact that Larian Studios they're an indie developer. I mean, they're not broke, but they're an indie developer.
Yeah, what's their team? Hold on. Larian
It's amazing.
Studios team size. Like how many staff members do they actually have over there?
Like we touched on it earlier.
150 developers?
They set the bar. Like
450 employees for the entire thing,
yeah.
for the entire studio.
I mean, they're
So-
not tiny by any means, but
that is not big though either.
yeah,
that is
they
not-
don't have any like publishing company behind them or anything like that. Like nobody breathing down their necks. They could just make whatever they want to make.
But that's why this game is
And it's
the game right now.
It's massive. It is massive. It isn't going to have any random DLC BS. It was a completed game that wasn't completely broken at launch, which is hard to ask for nowadays. It's
I know they've
great.
said no DLC, but I mean, at this point too, I feel like people would be, because it is more in line with the way DLC used to work when DLC was first a thing.
Right.
So like, because I remember like the first big DLC that I ever got was Fable 2. Because Fable 2 is a phenomenal game.
That takes me back.
And-
So good.
And so like when a game was actually that good, they're like, oh, hey, let's just add more content. We'll charge you $15 or whatever, and you get more content. And it was
Yeah.
totally fair. It didn't
It'll
feel
probably
like
be
I
a
was
lot
getting...
if they do.
Yeah, which I could see them doing something like that just because I think the community would be okay with it at this
Yeah.
point because they just want more stuff for the game.
In like a year.
And yeah, exactly. Like, but they might just do it for free though too at this point. But like, who knows? That's a bit asking
That's
a lot
true.
from them. But
Yeah, but like, so if you don't know, because we didn't really talk too much about it, Baldur's Gate it's based on D&D. I want to say specifically 5e. So as a D&D guy, it is pretty much to a T with how it works.
which we've never really gotten before either, from what I understand.
Right. Well, they made Divinity, Original Sin or whatever, and Original Sin 2, and that was kind of like the tester to see if it would work. And then they got a budget off of that, and then they got to make Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I was
I
looking at their
believe.
games. I'd never really heard of Divinity. I've seen it on the stores and whatnot. There's a lot of Divinity
But-
games.
It's very in depth, but they don't. It's not complicated, if that makes sense.
So it looks like they didn't even make the first two Baldur's Gate games.
I guess not. Honestly,
That's odd, too.
I couldn't tell you. Oh, maybe
No,
that's
it's not
what
on
it
their
was.
Wikipedia.
What?
The Original Sin 2 was because they wanted to make a Baldur's Gate,
Oh.
so that they made that as a precursor to be like,
Oh,
look,
BioWare made the first Baldur's Gate.
this
Really?
works.
That makes sense. That was in 1998.
Yeah.
And then Baldur's Gate 2 was in 2000.
So
That makes a lot of sense.
if you want to get into D&D, don't know where to start, you can either play in a campaign that somebody knows what to do or play Baldur's Gate. Honestly.
Do you get to roll the dice?
your yes,
Yeah.
your dialogue
Oh my
options
god.
actually impact the story. It's not as free as playing regular Dungeons and Dragons because like you can't just say or do anything, but you can say or do most things.
Yeah, there's a lot of options, and there's a lot of your party. Well, I love the party disapproves of things. I
Yeah,
love that kind of stuff to where it's
the classic.
my choice is way more impacted by my feelings towards each person in my party.
Yeah, and like
Or
people
if I
in
make
your
a bad decision
people
and
in
someone
your,
disapproves, I'm like, ah!
people in your party can leave if they don't like too many things that you're doing.
Oh,
Like,
no.
It's crazy, and you can also fuck them, but that's
obviously.
just icing on the cake, right? You get to pick your genitalia at the beginning. It's very important to do that. But
Is it
it's
like Skyrim? Can you be like lizard people and like the cat people, or is it like only humans?
no,
Well, you
yeah,
can pick preset characters, right? And then you can also make your own character.
there's a bunch of different races. Yeah. Well, so most of there's like preset like designs for your characters or whatever. But yeah, you make your guy, and then there's also the party members that you pick up throughout that you can also play as instead. Like you can have a party of just like their guys, and your created person just sits at camp twiddling their thumbs all day.
See, that's
Okay.
cool too. It's not like it seems like it's the most you do what you want without being like too much.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
and there's
A lot of these games
lot
have the
to
open
do.
world, and
And certain
So, yeah,
things,
that's-
certain things
so
that
you think
do
it's gonna take it?
can affect. I want it to so bad. I want it to so bad. I don't know. Tears of the Kingdom's really tough to go up against, but I want Baldur's
'cause
Gate to win
it's
so
Zelda,
bad.
of course, too, and like.
Right.
But yeah, because both those things. Because when Zelda dropped too, I could not stop seeing Zelda content
You
on
know,
my TikTok.
if it's not just down to like viewer input, Baldur's Gate might have it. Just looking at it as like game experiences, obviously it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it might have it.
But it is the most innovative thing on this list, like I've said earlier.
Yeah, and like
it
you
is
said, people
the
are
most
still
game-changing game we've had in a while. To where, like I said, people are like, no, this is not the standard. This is not what games should be.
Yeah, they
Like,
really
the fact
knocked it
that
out of the
anybody
park.
said that is like, oh my god, I got to get this game.
You know, you did something right. The girlies love Asterion, the guys love Karlach.
There's somebody for everybody too. That's
Yes.
a big thing.
There's like little wizard guy,
Little wizard guy.
Gale. There's the big druid macho man. I mean, he's not a macho man, but he's a thick dude. And he can turn into a bear if you're into that. But
We
yeah.
are 42 minutes into this, and we're on the first category. Should we move on?
I want to call my friend, and then we can move on.
Okay.
So he can give input on Alan Wake real quick.
Is he good to go, or like?
Yeah, he's ready. I'm just gonna do one of these bad boys. You should be able to hear him.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello, welcome to the podcast, Mr. Chad.
Can he hear
What's
us
up,
too? Or
guys?
no?
Assaulted.
Oh wait, I had it backwards. Okay, this should work better. Okay. For those of you that may or may not remember, Chad was technically a guest on the first ever podcast I recorded. Also talking about spooky games. So with this one, we're talking about the Game Awards, and he's the only person I know that has played Alan Wake 2. So does it have a standing in the running?
Yeah, so it's my personal game of the year, but I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3. I plan to. I'll probably play it next month. I've just been trying to finish like everything else, and there's a bunch of stuff that's been out, a bunch of stuff that I'm into right now, so I kind of been putting that off, but I will play Baldur's Gate here sometime next month. So personally right now it is my game of the year. I think
Whoa.
it does a lot of good stuff for storytelling. Like to me, like, I don't know, a lot of games have felt kind of like the same the last couple of years. The way that it does its story, I think, is new. So, like, even if it doesn't get Game of the Year, 'cause, again, I think from everything that I'm hearing, Baldur's Gate 3 is probably going to get Game of the Year, but I think it will win quite a bit of other awards. Like, I forget all the categories, but, like, game direction, I'm sure Alan Wake will get that. If it's anything, like, story-related, I'm sure Alan Wake will win that, because it has a unique way that it tells the story. So it's two characters. The first character is an FBI detective named Saga, and the second character is Alan Wake.
I'm guessing she's the one on the front of the cover, then, I assume?
Yeah, it's correct. So like the story, I don't want to spoil stuff because everyone here should honestly play it. It's a really, really good game.
Yeah, I'm planning on picking it up when it's on sale. I'm waiting for it because I know it'll drop eventually.
Yeah, it's good. So have you played the first Alan Wake?
No, but I've seen stuff about it and I've watched playthroughs of it and all that jazz. And
okay, yeah. So it is very different. It plays very, very different. But so Alan Wake 1 takes place in 2010. And Alan Wake 2 takes place in 2023, and so it leads up into that. Like Alan Wake, the character, goes missing after 2010, and the FBI detective is investigating like these disappearances, and it leads back to Bright Falls, which is the town that Alan Wake disappeared in, and it kind of picks up there. And then you play as both characters. One of the other really cool things about this game, so most games, if you have two protagonists, like there's like an order to it. Like you play as this character for a couple chapters, you play as this characters for a couple chapters, and it switches back and forth. You can actually do it in any order. So like if you really, really liked Saga's stuff, like you can just finish her entire thing the whole way through and then do Alan Wake stuff if you want, or you can kind of switch back and forth. That's what I did. I kind of played one or two chapters.
Does their gameplay differ between the two?
Yeah, so their gameplay it's the same overall gameplay, but like what's going on is very, very different. So like when you play as Saga, it's more like you're doing kind of like detective stuff. Like you actually have like a detective board. I kind of wish they did a little bit more with it, because just that concept alone I think is super, super interesting for a game. Like you're finding these clues and you put it up on the board and you're trying to like piece things together. And then I think Saga probably has a little more action, I would say, than Alan Wake's parts. I don't know. It's close, but it's like a different type of action, I guess. And then Alan Wake, he's not like in reality. He's in like the dark place, which is, if you played the first one, the end of it that's kind of where it leaves you hanging. And so he's in there, and you can literally like let's say you get to a certain place, right? And you don't like the way something's set up, and since he is a story writer, he kind of like is manipulating the story, and he writes these things into his book to change like the scenery, and you have to change certain scenes to advance and stuff. And it's really cool. And a lot of the cutscenes as well are live action, so there's like actors.
Whoa.
It's the actors that did the characters. So a lot of the cutscene is live action, and I don't want to ruin it. You shouldn't even look it up. Like wait until you play it. But like when you die as Alan Wake, it plays like this cutscene, and I don't know. I think it was like really, really cool. The first time I died, I was like, oh, that's awesome. And it's cool too, because it's like when you die, there's like lore behind it. Like when you die, the cutscene leads up, and it's almost like you restart. And like if you play the game, it'll make sense to you. But it's really, really cool.
It sounds awesome. It sounds like a well-polished version of Deadly Premonition, honestly.
Yeah, so I've actually never played that, but I've heard things about it.
It's so much fun. If you have a Switch and the remake of it, or the remastered edition of it on the Switch is a super fun time. It's so bad it's good, and if you like it, it's very similar sounding with the detective stuff, and like it's a fun time, but it's sounding a lot like that from the way you're describing it. Because you're the detective, but then you're also
speaking
doing
of polish,
trippy.
Also, since you just mentioned that, that's another really good thing about Alan Wake 2. Like, okay, I feel like most games that come out in the last couple years have been so buggy on release. Like, they've been awful. Like, there's been game-breaking bugs, or just like you can just tell there wasn't enough polish. Like, it was rushed, to get a release date, to get money and stuff like that. That's one thing I will say. Alan Wake 2, I don't recall any glitches other than there was one audio glitch I had. The audio cut out, and I just restarted the game, and then it worked fine. But that was the only bug I can remember that I encountered, which is like super, super rare for most games nowadays. So it's extremely
Well, that's the thing with these
polished.
Game Awards, though, too. None of these games are buggy at launch. Zero of these. have been buggy. I mean, I think they had a little bit of issues. Like Tears of the Kingdom was, but it was nothing game breaking.
So I
duplication
did hear
glitch is like a
Baldur's
feature.
Gate 3. I did hear Baldur's Gate 3, especially Act 3, was like really, really bad. A lot of like stutters and slowdowns and stuff for a lot of people. And then I know
But
Spider-Man
that just could
2
be bad
did
hardware
have a
too,
lot
because
of
it's a computer
glitches.
game initially.
Well, that too, but I know Spider-Man 2 did have a lot of glitches too, like the cube glitch.
I had Spider-Man 2 day one and have had one glitch the entire time, but I'm just saying in comparative to other games that have been coming out, all of these games
they're
are
pretty
close
polished.
enough.
Yeah, my brother, he said he didn't encounter much bugs with Spider-Man 2 either. I just seen a lot of people did have a lot of like weird issues, like clipping through buildings and other stuff like that. But I don't know if that was like before like the day one patch or whatever too. I don't know. It could have been review copies. I'm not 100% sure. So.
But I also feel like people will purposely not download the day one patch and then be like, look at all this stuff that's wrong with this game. Like.
Yeah, stupid people. I mean, that's possible too. But yeah, so Alan Wake 2 though, it was super polished. It was really good. I think the story. I mean, that's why I loved it so much.
What are you playing Alan Wake 2 on here? Quick before I.
Oh, what was that?
What are you playing it on?
So I'm playing on Xbox Series X. I always preferred Xbox over PlayStation. I do have a PS5, but I typically only get like exclusive games for my PS5, and then it just kind of sits there and collects
Me
stuff.
too, though.
Yep.
I have a gaming PC, but I'm weird. Like, I like sitting on my couch and playing games.
Oh,
where it's
100%.
I feel like if I'm like playing on my
100%.
computer,
No,
I'm
and
like, I
hot
don't know.
take too, if
I
it's not a
close
PC
it.
exclusive game, it's going to be a lot buggier on PC because there's a little more finicky things as opposed to a game console. When something comes out,
true.
like,
I have a
it is harder
TV
to.
next to my PC just so I could play games with the controller on it.
I will say though, because like, so I'm big into fighting games. I will say though, fighting games on PC, they always feel so smooth, and plus just mod support is awesome. So it's like, I know like PC is the like premium way for most stuff. I'm just weird. I like sitting on my couch when I play most games though.
Nah, I love being
I just
comfy.
feel like you have to have a lot more knowledge of your PC because something can go wrong. There's a little setting you need to tweak and whatnot a lot of the times, and it's just a lot of little things like that as to where my console is just good to go. You pop that disc in and or download
it's a lot
whatever,
easier
and
to
you are
develop a game
good to
for
go.
you are fresh and you're good to go.
a couple consoles than a million
While
PC
you're here,
setups.
then should we do the fighting game category since we got someone who likes fighting games?
Oh my gosh, you're right. Okay, so last,
we're here.
anything else about Alan Wake, or what do you think about it versus Resident Evil?
So it's actually a great comparison. So Resident Evil 4 is a great game, and that was 100% like in my running of Game of the Year too, because I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. I think Resident Evil 4 Remake was incredible. I did actually like Alan Wake 2 better, which is weird for me because I'm a huge Resident Evil fan.
So Alan Wake might be
it's
up
one of
there.
the greatest games ever made, but I'm telling you,
Got a
Alan
good
Wake
chance,
2
it
is
sounds like.
it's really, really good. Like I personally think Alan Wake 2 in terms of storytelling and just like some of the things the game does is just on another level. So I 100% it deserves the Game of the Year, Game of the Year nomination. Like 100%. It's
Dang.
really, really good.
I do feel like it's going to be set back since it just launched on the 27th. I do feel like that
I know, it came out
hinders the
so
chance,
late.
but the fan vote is very small in comparison to what, because it's mostly the critics' vote is what gets it there from what I saw. So.
Now, did you guys on this call, did you guys all play like the Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 4 remake?
I did.
I'm actually
Okay.
playing through it, and it's awesome. It's so good.
So
No, I love Resident Evil. It's one of my
um,
favorite series. So.
The inventory system is very similar on Alan Wake 2. Like it's almost identical to like RE2 remakes. Like even like picking up like item pouches to be able to hold more inventory. Like you can only hold like I think it's like 8 items or something like that when you start, but you find like side packs and stuff like that, so you have more inventory. And there's an item box as well. So it's like it's very, very similar to Resident Evil, at least inventory wise. How gameplay wise, honestly, is kind of similar too. It's a behind the back third person shooter. as
Alan
well.
Wake's the sleeper hit.
Yeah,
But
it
it
sounds
is,
like
I'm telling you,
it really
it's
does.
really, really good.
I need
really,
to pick
really
it
good.
up.
Like Eddie, you
Are
haven't
we
played the
good
first
then?
one,
Should we
right?
go to fighting games?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so what? Even if you don't want to play the first one, like watch a YouTube video just to like understand the game and play the second one.
Just to know what's going on.
They are very different. But
The
you should at
remaster
least
works though too, right? 'Cause I have that on my PS5.
Yeah, yeah, and it does. It plays really different too. So like, even if you didn't like the first Alan Wake gameplay that much, it doesn't matter because the second one's completely different. It plays more like Resident Evil 2 remake. The story of the first one's good though too. But second one's even better.
Yeah, we
can move on to fighting games now.
Yeah, he'll be a good input on this one. I haven't even heard of 2 of these.
Yeah, I haven't heard of 2 of them
that
either,
is the one thing though. If it's like an anime like niche like fighting game, I probably
we got
haven't
none of
played
that
it.
this year. None of it.
But like Street Fighter, I played Street Fighter. I played Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it's
Tekken 8's not out yet, but I have that pre-ordered. I'll be playing that one.
Let's just we got God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2,
Why is this a
Pocket
nominee?
Bravery, and Street Fighter 6.
You're pretty photogenic.
And I don't think Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl should even be here.
Is this the sleeper pick?
Like, it's a
I didn't even know
platform
that
fighter.
the second one
it's-
came out.
You can still
Yeah, it's
consider it a fighting
Yeah.
game, but I don't know. I mean, I guess if you consider Smash a fighting game, you consider that a fighting game, but it's like in that similar realm of things.
Well, it's a platform fighter. That's what it Smash is, so I mean.
Fighter.
So Mortal Kombat has like a huge fan base, and a lot of times it'll win. I was literally playing Mortal Kombat's literally paused on TV right now. So I love Mortal Kombat. I've always liked it better than Street Fighter, but personally, I think Street Fighter 6 deserves at least the fighting game of the year, because Street Fighter 6 was way more polished than MK1. MK1 feels very rushed. I think the gameplay of MK1 is amazing. I think MK1, honestly, it's like the most fun I've had with Mortal Kombat since Mortal Kombat 9 and 10, because I did not care for Mortal Kombat 11's gameplay, but content-wise, like MK11 was great.
I'm a story guy when it comes to Mortal Kombat, though, and I'm a detail guy. And
so
the
the
story in
story of
MK1
MK1
and
was
the
good.
details. The details they put in this game that are so needless, so you can do the camera mode, and you can go like look around Johnny Cage's apartment and whatnot, and that's just like the one big
Oh
one I've
my
seen people
God.
exploring. And
Wow.
the detail they put on all this stuff, there's little words you'd not be able to see in the thing. The little Roomba that comes and it could vacuum up the blood, and there's so much tiny detail that I just really appreciate, and I think critics will also, look at that kind of thing too.
I appreciate that too. Yeah, no, and plus MK1 does look beautiful too. So like, speaking of like detail and stuff, like if you go into even just like the model viewer and literally like zoom in as close as you can on some of the characters, like even like the cameos, like you can see freckles, you can see like hair follicles,
Pores.
Like, it is very, very detailed.
Skin
like if you
pores.
go into yeah, for real, you really can, like skin pores. Like go on Striker and literally like zoom on his like hand, like you can literally see like pores, like everything. It's like super detailed. Gameplay of MK1 though is a blast. It's super, super fun, but there are a lot of glitches, and it definitely feels like it's lacking content compared to the last one. I think it was probably rushed because of Warner Brothers, and like right now it's getting a lot of flack due to like extremely high priced like DLC. So like the last one, you would get like, character skin bundles for say like $6 or something, right? And you get like 3 skins. They're charging $10 per like only 1 skin.
And it's
I
just a
think what's
skin.
going on with that though is it's going to be the whole thing where when they put it on sale, it's going to look like such a really good deal, and it's going to go back to the normal price that it should have been when it started. So it's that whole, I'm saving $5, and so I think they're going to go with that. And then also, I don't know what we're going to get for like the last time we had the Aftermath DLC, which completely changed the game in just terms of like, I mean, I'm a story guy, and so the fact I got like 2 more hours of story, a bunch more characters. And you can get everything for Mortal Kombat later for super cheap is the thing though too.
Oh, 100%.
So I don't think
100%.
that's gonna be that big of an issue.
There is like data mine stuff too. Like I'm pretty sure they are planning another story expansion for MK1, which I am looking forward to. And I did really enjoy MK1's story. I think MK1's story was definitely better than Street Fighter 6's story, because Street Fighter 6's World Tour mode, like it was fun. And it was cool, like, for what they did, because it was pretty much like MK's, like, Deception like conquest mode. It was very similar to that, which is cool. Street Fighter 6 just had so much polish. The net code is obviously a huge thing for fighting games. MK1's net code is meh. Like, here's another thing that's really crappy. So Mortal Kombat 1, I technically can't play online right now from my internet connection. For whatever reason, it will not let me play that game online. My internet speed, I have a gig a second, and my upload speed's like 20. I think it's like 26 megs, and I cannot play Mortal Kombat 1 online, but if I go on my hotspot, I can. Or if I go to my brother's house, I can. It has something to do with their servers and my internet.
It's too fast.
Too fast?
No. The weird thing is my online stress test, because I got into the online stress test for Mortal Kombat 1. It worked fine. I got into the Mortal Kombat closed beta. It worked fine. The full game came out. I cannot play online. It's so weird. So I have to play on my hotspot.
But you're on PC again, though, right, too?
So that's on Xbox.
Oh, that is on Xbox. Oof.
Yeah, there's a lot of people having the same issue, but it's across like all platforms. I think it just has something to do with certain internet providers in their servers. I'm sure it'll be patched out eventually, and fixed eventually. But like, this game came out in September, and I'm a huge fighting game guy, and I still can't even play it online. And I like,
yeah, that is a major
hit.
Competitive and good.
It is a major hit.
Didn't have like a backup.
Yeah,
I will say though that I do believe the fan vote is going to go to MK1 just because of how the sustained power of, like, again, 100%. I keep going back to this, but on my For You page, it is so much Mortal Kombat, not just because I like Mortal Kombat, but Street Fighter 6, when that first came out, there was a lot too, but it was mostly just making silly characters and doing silly things, and not so much like, look how cool this is.
Making wiener characters.
Makes sense, yeah.
So I do think the fan vote is going to go to Mortal Kombat 1, so I don't know how much that's actually going to sway anything.
Like I said, the gameplay of both of them is so good. I think Street Fighter 6 is such a good fighting game. There's just a lot of polish. The netcode's amazing. The online's amazing. The lobby system's amazing. It's just so weird. MK1 is lacking a lot of features that the last game had. Like, even before Aftermath came out, like, it had some of these features. So to me, it feels like Warner Brothers wanted to rush it out and basically get like that, final quarter money for the end of the year. That's what it feels like to me. I know MK1, Warner Brothers and NetherRealm Studios, like, by the end of things, I know MK1's going to be amazing. I just think Street Fighter 6 deserves it over Mortal Kombat due to, like, how polished Street Fighter 6 was when it came out. And this is coming from someone who likes Mortal Kombat way better than Street Fighter.
I do think people are still wary from Street Fighter 5, though. I think that hurt them a lot.
Street Fighter 5 was so bad. So bad when it released. It was awful.
Really. So would you say they made up for Street Fighter 5 with Street Fighter 6, though? Like, does it redeem
100%.
the series?
100%. Street Fighter 6 is really, 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 really good. There is one thing that there is one thing that is weird. So Street Fighter 6, there's not a lot of costumes coming out for it. Like, that's not really a big deal to me, but some people it is. I know Street Fighter 5, dude, they were like pumping out costumes galore. And like Street Fighter 6,
that was all microtransactions and whatnot, and people were not happy about that.
Yeah, they haven't even released a single like costume pack for like the playable characters.
How many copies of Street Fighter 6 sold though?
I think something a little over 2 million. Mortal Kombat 1, I would assume, probably has like 6 to 8 or something like that. I know MK11 did like 12 or 13 million or something like that. So I assume Mortal Kombat
we got 2 copies
of
Street Fighter 6, like you said, and then MK1 sold 3 million. Yeah, so it's pretty close.
Oh, Mortal Kombat 1 only sold 3 million, really?
Yeah,
that's actually surprising. I figured
this is my Google search here, so.
Interesting. I figured it'd be more than that.
So that's the fighting games.
I think Street Fighter 6 deserves it, but I know MK1 got, I think it was Golden Joysticks. I think Mortal Kombat 1 won its fighting game of the year over Street Fighter 6.
Oh,
so I could see MK1 taking it, but now next year I think Tekken 8 will take it, because Tekken 8 seems like it's going to be like really, really good.
I'm so hyped, because Tekken 7 was, meh. Again, I don't know, I was not a huge fan of it, and I like Tekken. I like the lore of Tekken. I think it's a fun time. but I was not super feeling Tekken 7.
I think the gameplay of Tekken 7 was really, really good. I love Tekken 7. The story, however, was so-so. Like, there's good parts of the story, but I hated, like, the weird, like, reporter, narrator guy for some reason, like, telling the story. To me, it just seemed kind of off, I guess. But
what's funny too is because the story's always just been here's a dad throwing his son off the cliff, here's the son throwing the dad off a cliff, so it's never been like that deep, but I've always really enjoyed it. And the fact that
the Mimishima in, you know, Rivals, it's Kazuya and Hihachi, and basically they're trying to kill each other, and Jin's in there also, you know, dicking around doing his thing, also trying to kill each other.
The Devil Jin pops up and
should we move on though? I think we got to move on. It's been an hour and 5 minutes, and we've done 2 categories.
Yeah, we've been
we've been
ding-donging a little too much. I mean, the rest of them I know we'll be quick with, but
quicker. So
yeah. Thank you, Chad. Is there anything else that you want to?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all I gotta
Thanks,
add. The only thing, anybody listening, like if you haven't played Alan Wake 2, or even if you haven't played Alan Wake 1, I highly recommend picking up the remaster, or at least watching a YouTube video and getting Alan Wake 2. Like, I promise, it's really, really good. If you're super big into like action, it's not as action packed as Resident Evil 4. It's definitely slower. It's more of like a survival horror, kind of classic survival horror feel to it. But it's a really, really good game. The story is really, really good. So I recommend picking it up. So, that's it.
All right.
Nope.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Hey, see ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
all right,
Wow.
so should we go to best game direction now? Because again, we got the same games here. So
Amazing. I'm glad I called him in because I did not know
that helped a lot.
how nice Alan Wake was.
Smart man.
yeah.
Oh,
So
dude,
we'll
I
see.
love him. He is more of a video game boy than me, actually. And that's in my description. Okay, so yeah, game of the year, I want it to be Baldur's Gate. I don't know if it will be, but maybe it will. It seems pretty good.
I just think I don't know how much the fan vote actually sways anything is the thing, because I think the fact that it came out too late, I think people are going to be like, oh, I don't know if this deserved to win. So I mean, it's gonna, I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah.
What do we gotta wait till December 7th, I think?
Yes.
And then we should probably do a follow-up video, right?
Yeah, probably, where we complain.
So should we go into game direction now, though? Second category.
Ethan, your official vote is Tears of the Kingdom.
For game of the year, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
For fighting game, do you think they're gonna make a Soul Calibur 7? That's like the only shit I care about. I'm not
Soul
gonna
Calibur
lie.
has not been a good forever.
I know.
They'll probably make a new one eventually.
I like it. You can go up and down and left and right. That's my jam.
The character creation in the last one was funny.
Oh yeah, we made some doofy stuff.
Yeah. Best game direction. You're right. It is the same. Minus.
It's got the
Resident Evil.
It's the same.
From what he said,
Alan Wake.
it could be Alan Wake 2. It's also Baldur's Gate's got a really good chance. I don't know if the other three, how much of a chance they have, just because they're not doing anything different.
The thing about the Game Awards is that a lot of the time, there's one game that wins. There's like 2 contenders for Game of the Year. One game wins Game of the Year, and then the other game wins a ton of like the other awards. I don't know if that's just coincidence, but
From what he said, Alan Wake 2 sounds like it's got a really good direction, but so does
Honestly.
Baldur's Gate 3, so
live action cutscenes, that's sweet.
it's odd. I don't know how I feel about it necessarily.
I think it's gonna be Alan Wake 2. That's in my soul. That's what I'm feeling.
Alan Wake or Baldur's Gate. Huh.
I mean, honestly though, Super Mario Wonder has good direction. Like, I don't know what direction actually means. Like,
they changed
award
Charles
for outstanding
Martinet.
creative vision and innovative game direction and design.
I.e. elephants.
No. So it's got to be
Innovation?
Baldur's Gate or Alan Wake 2. I don't think any other three.
Yeah.
Because it's about innovation and creative design, and both those sound like
Top contenders.
So it's got to be one of those two. I don't really have much more to say on that one.
I'll go with Baldur's Gate because there is Alan Wake might have had like a lot of cool stuff, but there is a lot to direct in Baldur's Gate, so that's my guess. That's my
doesn't
vote.
sound as innovative as Baldur's Gate 3, and that's innovation is one of the key things there. So
Yeah. What do you think, Mr. Swandizzle?
It's gotta be Alan Wake, dude.
I want to play it now. What the heck?
yeah, me too.
Okay. Best narrative.
This one's going to be tough because Final Fantasy 16 story is so good. But we should go through the categories first. Sorry.
Yeah, we have.
Oh my god, it's like on Black Friday sale, and I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it.
We have Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, which is a DLC, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's their like update thing.
Final Fantasy 16 and Spider-Man 2. Best narrative. This is also tough because Baldur's Gate's in there.
Again?
I would just like them to throw a bone to Final Fantasy because I think it should have been in Game of the Year over Resident Evil, but that's just
fair.
me. I'm not even that far into it, but the story has got me so hooked.
That's fair. Final Fantasy games are very, very story heavy as well.
And it's so Game of Thronesy to where you're just like, it's boom, 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 things are happening. Like it's it's so good.
Yeah, because it starts
it's just intense. It's got me on the edge of my seat. Like
it's the
gameplay that's kind of holding me back because I'm having fun with it, but I'm really just more interested in what's going on with the story.
Yeah.
Is it kind of action like 15 was? Is that my understanding?
It's more like that. It's like 15 mixed with 7 remake.
Okay. All right.
So it's fun. It is fun, but yeah, for story wise, I would really like to see just a bone thrown at Final Fantasy. But
it works for me.
Again, it sounds like
I
Alan
wouldn't be
Wake 2's
surprised.
story. Spider-Man is a good story, but it's nothing.
It's a superhero story, right?
Like, it's not. It's it's good for it's better than the Marvel movies lately. But
yeah.
What is that saying?
And Cyberpunk, I'm like, congratulations that you fixed all your things, but I think let's put that ship to sail or whatever the term is. I think it's done.
The stream
I just
has
can't
been
get into
tainted.
it. I've tried multiple times.
I really want to
just
watch the
don't
anime.
care.
I really do. I need to watch the anime. Apparently, it's
The what?
amazing. The Cyberpunk anime.
Oh yeah, that too. But like, that's the thing with the world of Cyberpunk. It's great, but it's not even their world. It's a board game. It's a D&D game, isn't it? Like, so I mean, I don't think they're gonna win story just because it's
Yeah.
the story of the original game was kind of ass from what I've seen online because I've watched videos of people breaking down the whole story and whatnot, and it's nothing. It's not innovative. It's your basic dystopian cyber, your future. Oh, the evil corporations. It's that.
Yeah, my first hour was like I got to choose my penis size. I got to drive a car for a little bit,
and then
I did a quest, and I never picked it up again.
And they have the 3 places you can start your story, and then it's like that's only the first couple hours, and then the rest just diverge into the same thing.
Yeah,
at least for the base game. So it's like that sucks. I understand making 3 stories is going to be hard, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, should
Best art direction.
anything else to say
Liza
about
P.
stories?
it's probably Alan Wake. I don't know.
No, there's 3 top contenders for the story. I'll throw Final Fantasy a bone.
I just want it. It's just me. Just because they're not nominated for much else. It looks like either they might get best RPG, but we'll see.
Best art
Even
direction.
though Baldur's Gate might.
Maybe.
Should we go into art direction?
Yes. Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush. I forgot about that game. Liza P, Super Mario Wonder, and Tears of the Kingdom.
Get Tears of the Kingdom out of here.
I don't know
the
about
art is
that.
cool, but
Mario 2. It's the best 3D 2D Mario art direction, but
It's a lot better than the new Super Mario Bros. Whatever's, but
Right.
I don't think either of those are getting it.
I do think Liza P it's nothing.
It's not super groundbreaking. It is really
No,
pretty.
it's
I love
very
the
Bloodborne-y
setting.
looking.
I love the setting, but
I think it might go to Hi-Fi Rush though. Honestly,
Yeah, Hi-Fi Rush I remember was really pretty.
Really,
Honestly,
I just didn't play it because I'm not good at timing and beat games.
Alan Wake. I might have to. I might have to.
I don't
throw
know
it
though,
to
just
Alan
because
Wake.
the fact that it's live action cutscenes, because it's artistic design and animation.
That's true.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
go with
think
Hi-Fi Rush on this, just because it is the most original game out of
live
all these.
action is
and
a-
it
I
is
think
super
so,
good
too.
looking.
it's a contender, and it's available on Game Pass. So if you're like, oh, I want to try it out,
So is Liza P.
I played the first hour, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And everybody loves that comic booky kind of stuff too.
Oh,
Like it's
I'm a sucker for that.
There's
me too.
the whole JoJo poses guy.
Yeah.
Deal.
All right. Anything else to talk about in art direction?
Nah.
I
All
don't like.
right. What do you got?
It sounds good.
Sweet.
And that's it.
Score and
Speaking
music.
of-
Sounds. Yeah.
It's gonna be a
Okay.
tough one
so
again. Baldur's Gate and Alan Wake. You just go. I mean, I
we
like
have-
you here,
we
but
have
like,
Alan Wake, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, and Tears of the Kingdom. It is nice because Baldur's Gate was composed, which is nice.
but Final Fantasy again with the music is always top tier. So there's a
I
good
was
chance of that.
gonna say-
Zelda is very, it's Breath of the Wild again. It's nothing really.
It is
Fantastic
very
there.
atmospheric and it is whimsical.
Yeah.
But it's been done.
The music on the cutscenes are good.
Oh, when the
But,
hands, when the
Cold Gara
hands are
fight,
chasing
baby.
you.
The music that Final Fantasy 16, the way it makes me feel, I get so tense and on the edge of my seat when stuff's happening, and it is a big part of the music.
Final Fantasy music it's always
It's hard
up
to
there.
compete with.
Hi-Fi
But
Rush.
apparently Alan Wake 2, so we'll see how that goes too.
Hi-Fi Rush is a music game, but I haven't
Yeah.
heard it firsthand, to be honest.
It's
So
I don't know. To me, yeah, it's just like what's the term butt rock? I don't know.
Hi-Fi Rush.
like
Yeah,
dad-
like
dad butt rock.
you're like,
as
okay,
opposed
cool,
to-
but
Final Fantasy is I listen to orchestras of Final Fantasy soundtracks all the time because they're just that good, and
Yeah.
this is no exception.
yeah, I'm sure
Final
like
Fantasy.
I would toss it up to like Baldur's Gate 3 or Final
How is
Fantasy.
the music in Baldur's Gate 3?
It is really good. It is impactful, but I honestly don't really. There's nothing that memorable that jumps out at me other than like the title screen sequence or like certain towns. But it's not like Final Fantasy music. I know for a fact will get stuck in your head. Like Baldur's Gate, it's good. It's good music, but
See, because that's the thing with the Final Fantasy, it just adds to the immersion so much, like those fights
right.
and whatnot, and the cutscenes, just
Dun,
like
dun,
it's
dun, dun, dun,
everything
dun.
is just you're on edge the entire time.
Baldur's Gate music's good, but I don't know if I'd say that it's best soundtrack worthy. It is really
And
good.
I don't know about Alan Wake 2, just because it's a
Yeah,
survival horror game. We'll see, but
hard to tell. It's probably between Final Fantasy and Tears of the Kingdom, huh? But I would hope Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
I just want a bow and throw at it. Like I think it's such a great game, and I don't think it's getting enough recognition, I guess.
if there's anything I'll say, like, I mean, you could use this point for Zelda as well, but just the using like motif in your music and stuff. I haven't actually played Final Fantasy 16, like I said, but I gave like a brief listen to the OST and like some of the like the little stuff that they like throw in there. Like I think on the world map, the music is actually like partly like the main Final Fantasy theme, the do 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 do
Yeah.
do 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 do, and then like
Also,
you know,
it is
Oh,
on
the
sale right now too. If
Prelude
you
or
are,
whatever.
I'm getting it. I'm probably
it's,
gonna play it over
I think
Christmas.
it's $44, I think, on the store right now. Which ain't too
Yeah.
bad.
Everybody, if
And
you're
I think
interested.
does it still have the like the victory theme? The da 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 da
Kinda.
da da. Yeah, I'm sold.
It's not, of course, the 7 exactly, but you do hear it every now and again. From what I remember, it has been a little bit since I played it too. I've not had much time to play Final Fantasy 16 because I can't just play it for 30 minutes at a time.
Right. I was actually in Japan this summer when Final Fantasy 16 came out.
Wow, rubbing
and,
on our faces.
Dude, yeah, they marketed the crap out of that. Every 7-Eleven, every street corner, get your Final Fantasy merch.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
would have bought
say.
so much of it.
I was gonna say
Oh,
with
yeah.
Street Fighter too. I'm sure over there it's probably a bigger deal than over here. I mean, Street
True.
Fighter's huge here too, but
I'd believe that. Yeah.
All right, should we move on though? We got best audio design
Yep.
next, which is just
Next.
more of the
Whoa.
same. But it is nice to
Uh,
see Dead Space in there because the original Dead Space, the audio design in
yeah,
that is
spooky.
phenomenal.
It probably is
It
gonna
is-
have to be a horror game.
Because, with just Dead Space in general, I don't know if you guys have played the original, but it is the audio, or more so the lack thereof, I guess. It's the bangings on the pipes and the metal poundings and
Or
whatnot.
like hearing
Right.
stuff walking
yes,
like,
the crunching in the
in the
like, it's-
distance,
ugh,
in the
bones
shadows.
cracking and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it could be Hi-Fi Rush, though, too, because it is the audio incorporated into the gameplay, because it is
Yeah.
the beat kind of game, right?
It's
Like, if you
definitely
stay on beat
not
to-
Resident Evil. Resident Evil's it was good, but it wasn't. There's nothing outstanding about it.
Yeah.
Maybe Alan
Spider-Man
Wake,
2
but
is fine.
couldn't tell
it's
you.
not. I've not been impressed with like the music in Spider-Man 2. I'm not like, oh, this music is so good. There's never been a point like that during my gameplay of it. And again, we don't have much to go on with Alan Wake, other than he said it's a great survival horror, so it could also be.
Yeah.
You know,
But I do think it's gonna be one of the horror games here is obviously the choice.
Yeah.
for sure.
It's maybe Hi-Fi Rush though. It depending on how they look at it, I guess.
Yeah, like design how. Like I look at that picture of Alan Wake on the website here, and I can just envision every like couple of seconds, it's like the Hans
stings.
Zimmer, yeah, boom, boom, and it just, yeah, I don't know. Could be.
With the
Could be.
pulsating reds and whatnot, too, I can really feel it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Best
All right.
performance.
Best performance?
Next,
Yes. We have
This one I don't have much to say about really any of this. The dude in Final Fantasy is really good, but he's not the main attraction, I guess. I mean, he's the main guy.
it's
but,
gonna
like,
be Neil fucking Newbon. I know for a fact that's who it's gonna be.
Is he Altier or not Altier, whatever the dude's name is?
He's Asterion in Baldur's Gate. Okay,
Asterion, that's what it is.
let's go over real quick. So we have Ben Starr, Final Fantasy, Cameron Monaghan. Is that how you say his last name?
I think so.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba, Cyberpunk. Melanie,
I love Idris Elba, but
Yeah, yeah, same. But Cyberpunk. Melanie Liebert, Alan Wake 2. I'm assuming that's the detective character.
it's gotta be.
Neil, who's Asterion in Baldur's Gate 3, and then Yuri Lowenthal, Peter Parker in Spider-Man 2.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be between Neil and I haven't played Alan Wake 2, but she's got a good chance, I feel like.
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna say my biggest guess is Neil Baldur's Gate, just because
Idris Elba is actually like the biggest name here, though, too. So I mean,
that's
who
true.
knows?
And I mean, Cameron.
He's a big deal too. He was in Shameless and whatnot.
Yeah,
and
he's big for that.
I
People
think
do like
Cameron. I think Cameron's gonna be like the sleeper pick. Like, I haven't played this new one, but did you guys play the
America.
last Fallen Order?
It was
Little
fine.
bit.
I just not my gameplay style. I played a couple hours of it, and I'm like, I just like,
For
not
sure.
me. But I
I
did give it
never
a chance.
owned it.
Because I think they like mocapped, like, cause
Yeah.
he is the dude.
Yes,
I was like,
yes,
wow.
Yeah, no,
it is
he
him.
really is. He does a great job at it too, and his interviews are really fun talking about it. He's pissed he doesn't have a poncho in this game. I've seen that clip a million times,
Okay.
and he won't shut up about it in interviews. He's like, yeah, the game would be much better if you had a poncho.
DLC.
Yeah, but yeah, that's really all there is to that, right? I mean,
Yeah,
got anything else to say?
I've just seen Neil talking and like doing a ton of interviews too, and people love him as
You know,
Asterion.
I do think he'll get the fan vote though.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
for
think,
sure.
Yuri Lowenthal is like really polished and has been in the career for like a long, long time.
Oh yeah,
I've had a little bit
Sasuke.
too much of it right now between like watching a bunch of anime. I'm playing through Persona 4 Golden right now, and I hear him like every 2 seconds. I'm like,
Oh.
yeah.
And he's just Peter. It's the same voice, isn't it? Like, I mean, it's
Yeah.
his
Yep.
voice. Like,
He's,
it's nothing.
Yep.
He's
It's a good voice, but-
Smoke in Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
1.
So I'm gonna be honest with the next category here. I don't know anything about the accessibility in these games, so I don't have much to say.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that either. I'd have to look more into that.
Diablo 4 is in there, and they might just throw him a bone, but I doubt it.
No.
Does it just mean like, I mean, like you can play it with like the adaptive controls or something?
I
or,
assume it means like the
do that with
accessibility
any of
options in
them.
the menu. I
So
assume.
like
Yeah.
Hi-Fi Rush, I do believe like it's all audio cues, but you can have visual,
Yes,
a visual
that's true.
cue that goes into play with that. So I think it's stuff in the game, or like Grounded, you can make it less spidery. You can make the spiders less scary.
Yeah, because people have the arachnophobia and whatnot.
So like it's definitely like game design choices, but
I
yeah, I
know,
couldn't tell you.
like some games have like a colorblind mode.
Yep,
like
yep.
maybe that's something to do with it.
and they also have things where you can, they'll
Who's to
will
say?
read off the menu items and whatnot and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't have much to say about this though. So
Sorry guys.
and
Whoever
games
wins,
for Impact,
congratulations.
I have nothing to say about any of these.
I don't know any of
you're
these
all
games.
wonderful.
I am looking at. I remember seeing Goodbye.
What does the category even mean? For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message, which is neat, but I have not played a single one of these.
I remember seeing Goodbye Volcano High when it was announced, Chance of Sinar looks really cool, so I picked that one.
From the guy in a robe with another guy who's not like...
Yeah, he looks cool.
Is it gonna rain?
I don't know. I do like deer
rain.
though, and I like the frog. I'm gonna go Terra Nil because I like frogs. So
That's a good one too.
Space for Unbound looks like anime, so I'll go with that one.
all right, moving on then.
Best ongoing: Apex Legends,
Do not give a crap
Cyberpunk,
about any of these either.
Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Genshin Impact. Honestly, when did the Final Fantasy 14's last expansion wasn't this year though? Because I was gonna say that one would probably win. It's probably Genshin or Fortnite.
Yeah, or Apex maybe even. But
Actually,
I know, yeah.
That's a good point. Apex has a good running.
I don't understand why Cyberpunk is on here. Like, if you have
I don't
DLC,
either.
I don't think that counts. It's like you're either like
Yeah,
an
these are
No,
all
it's
online
because
game.
it's the development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience. So it's not just online, but these are all.
Multiplayer.
It's like a
games,
sympathy vote.
except-
Then, like, thanks,
Yes,
you
it
finally
really
got your
is.
game working.
Yeah.
Kudos.
I know Genshin's huge. I hate Genshin because 2 of my exes loved it.
It just looks boring.
It is also very boring.
I just think MMOs are boring in general, though. So I mean, that's
It's
my
stripped
opinion.
down Breath of the Wild, but you do the same thing
But MMO,
over
right?
and over and over again. Honestly, not
'Cause
even. You don't really.
it's not an MMO.
No, it's more. It's a mobile game, so it's a gotcha game where that plays like Breath of the Wild.
It's on PlayStation as well, though. But I thought it was like there was people in the world and stuff, and it was more. I didn't know. I just thought it was like Anime
Nah.
WoW kind of thing. I had no idea.
Not so much. Final Fantasy 14 is an MMO. And I don't like it that much.
I just don't like MMOs, so I have nothing really to say on anything. I don't play battle royales. I don't play Cyberpunk, so I got nothing to say on this one. Whatever you guys got to say. So
Cool story.
Yeah, it's probably Fortnite.
I love Fortnite. Next, I picked
Tomato
Fortnite.
Town. Yay.
Best community support, Baldur's Gate. We have
What's
Baldur's
the
Gate,
support?
Cyberpunk, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, and No Man's Sky.
So recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparent responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity. This has got to be Baldur's Gate. There's nothing.
Baldur's
on here
Gate, Baldur's Gate.
No Man's Sky was full of lies. They did fix their game.
I'm
Cyberpunk.
surprised.
They were
that's-
not transparent. I don't give a shit about Destiny 2.
Yeah, I don't care.
I didn't even
Nobody.
think Destiny 2 was still a thing. Like,
Final Fantasy 14, I mean, sure.
but I think
But-
Baldur's Gate 3 definitely has this because they have been the most transparent with everything for the entire time they've been working on that game. So
Yeah. Best indie game. We have Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder.
Viewfinder is so cool. I need to buy
Viewfinder
it.
is so cool.
I saw the trailer and I
It's
kinda
a
wanna
lot
buy it.
like it reminds
breaks
me
your
of
mind,
Subliminal,
bro.
which was one of my favorite indie games ever. If you guys have not played Subliminal, the dream game.
gave me motion sickness.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But yeah, Viewfinder looks like that kind of thing. And I also think it might be Dave the Diver because I know they were nominated for Game of the Year
Fuck Dave the Diver.
at the last award show. They didn't win, obviously, but
Viewfinder.
other than that, I haven't played any of these.
100%. It's so pretty. It's so
But Dave
mind-bending.
the Diver, like I said, it was nominated as one of the games of the year, not just the indie one.
That's true.
So I think it sounds like it's a big deal from what I understand. So, but I have not played Cocoon, Dredge. I haven't played any of them. So
yeah, Dredge.
Sea of Stars apparently is pretty good too, but it's more of a just an RPG, I do believe.
Yeah, I heard it's kind of like it's like Chrono Trigger vibes, so that makes me interested in checking it out. But
Yeah, I got more.
I don't know.
It gave me Star Ocean vibes, but it's probably close to that too. But maybe it's because it's Sea of Stars is why I think that. So
could be
because Star Ocean, Sea of Stars.
stars.
All right.
See what you did there.
Haha.
Best debut indie game.
Fucking Pizza Tower.
Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower, Venba, and Viewfinder.
It's Pizza Tower.
I love Pizza
100%.
Tower.
Pizza Tower was a force to be reckoned with online
Or
when it was out.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Pizza Tower just because it was such a sensation. Viewfinder's also really cool again, but
But Pizza Tower had the fan edits, the fan drawings, the
people
The
modded
clips.
him into everything.
Oh god,
yeah.
what is?
I think it's
this?
gonna be Pizza Tower.
You don't know about Pizza
Ye-
Tower?
I don't. I think I'm gonna have to play it.
It reminds me of Super Meat Boy in terms of like
Yeah.
the speed of the platforming you gotta do.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
this looks
comparable.
nasty. Let's go.
Yeah.
Best
I have not
mobile
actually
game.
played it myself, but apparently it's a really fun time. It just doesn't look like it looks like it'd give me a lot of anxiety trying to get through it. So
Oh yeah.
All right.
Best mobile game: Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Honkai Star Rail, Monster Hunter Now, and Terra Nil.
I just got to talk about Hello Kitty Island Adventure for real quick because
South
in the
Park?
World of Warcraft South Park episode, Butters says he's playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure instead of World of Warcraft. Like, what are you doing on your computer all the time? Well, I'm playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure, and it was not a game at the time. And now the prophecy has been fulfilled, and I don't know if it's because of that
What?
clip. Yeah.
Wow, good job, Butters.
That's insane.
Yeah. So yeah, it's one of the funniest little stories of did this happen because of that, or is it all just merely coincidence? So who knows? But
I hear Monster Hunter was a little bit of a disappointment.
I'm not a fan of Monster Hunter in the first place, so I wouldn't know.
What's the difference between Honkai and Genshin?
More adult-looking characters.
Maybe
I
it's
have no
because Honkai came out
I see
this year.
ads for Honkai all the time, but I've never actually seen any of the gameplay. It's always just
I'll pick-
anime people flashing on the screen.
I'll pick Honkai.
I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be it.
That's because I'm a fanboy. I'm a simp.
I think
Okay.
Honkai has a lot of money behind it, and that might do it. I mean,
I
obviously
love-
Final Fantasy does too. But
Love gotcha games.
Damn it. I'm gonna go with Hello Kitty Island Adventure just to throw my wild card
Let's
out there.
go.
give her.
Best VR/AR.
Resident Evil Village VR.
Gran
Step
Turismo
on me.
7,
Just kidding.
Horizon Call of the Mountain, Humanity, Resident Evil Village VR mode, and Synapse. I'm surprised there's not other.
I didn't even know
games
there
on
was a
here.
VR Horizon.
Yeah, I did.
When did that happen?
It was like a weird little DLC at the beginning of the year.
I didn't think Horizon. What's the second one called? Forbidden West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't know. I couldn't really get. I got into the first one quite a bit, and the second one I've tried a couple times just to hop back into it.
We'll
and
go
I
with.
just-
Yeah. I don't
I'm going
think
Resident
people,
Evil, though,
people
just
care
'cause
as much. Yeah. We'll go with Resident Evil because you can
Probably
get
that
picked
one.
up by the Dommy Mommy.
Yeah.
And also, it's a very competent shooting game in VR.
very popular. And Resident Evil 4 VR is great, so
I wish I could play that.
it's fine.
I
I
don't-
have you can get an Oculus Quest 2 for super Meta Quest 2 for super cheap these days.
Yeah. I have a VR headset, but I don't have that. But
All right, best action game.
yes.
You want to read them off?
Oh, Armored Core. I forgot that game came out. Armored Core 6. Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2.
I'm going Armored Core.
I hear Dead Island 2. Actually, I saw gameplay of it. No.
It's fine. It's fun apparently, but it's nothing groundbreaking.
I
played the
it's
first one and I was so bored. Never played
Yeah.
it again.
it's probably between Armored Core and Hi-Fi Rush. I feel like Hi-Fi Rush has a contender for this one because it is like it's a hack and slash type game. You just have to do it in the rhythm.
But this is the one From Software game on here this year. It looks like
Yeah,
so.
that's gonna win.
And the people who really like Armored Core really like, and it's apparently
Yeah,
a great Armored Core game. I don't know much about Armored Core, but it's not my thing. So
right.
the fans really like it, though, is the thing. And I don't know. I don't know anything about Remnant though either. So
Me neither. Best
it is
action
Gearbox
adventure.
published,
Oh, yeah.
Alan Wake.
though. Oh wait, what are we on?
Best action adventure.
Action adventure.
For
This
the
category is stupid. I'm gonna give it to Spider-Man here.
combining combat
You wanna read
with
'em off though first,
traversal
probably?
and puzzle solving. Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and Tears of the Kingdom.
The fact
Maybe-
traversal is in here. I'm giving it to Spider-Man
Yeah,
since it's in the name, and I don't think Spider-Man's gonna win a whole lot.
I might think Spider-Man, honestly. Or Tears of the Kingdom. If it doesn't win Game of the Year, Tears of the Kingdom will probably take this.
Yeah, it's a toss-up between those two, but I don't know about the puzzles in Alan Wake 2. It does sound pretty neat from what Chad was saying.
Does
I'm-
Spider-Man have puzzles?
I'm going to give
Yeah.
it to Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh shit.
They're not the most
Personally.
intense puzzles, but there are quite a few of them. There's
Alright.
things where you have to mess with the biomes of things to extract like the actual scent of things. So like you'll find like a puddle and then like a thing will pop a little game where you have to get rid of the bad things on the gene or the molecule of it. There's
Oh,
things
wow.
like that.
Okay.
There's puzzles from Uncle Aaron to where you have to find the correct spot to like get the door to open in certain ways. So you have to find like the 3 buttons and then get them in a certain order.
Okay.
So there is puzzles,
Tears of the Kingdom. What do you think, Ethan?
probably.
Probably.
The traversal in Tears of the Kingdom is also nuts. But
Hover
I do
bike,
think-
baby.
I do think Tears of the Kingdom is
Yeah.
going to get more awards than Spider-Man, so we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Best RPG for the best
God,
game designed
Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. with rich player
Starfield-
customization
okay, hold on, read the thing out,
progression,
sorry.
including massively multiplayer experiences. Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield.
Starfield might get thrown a bone here.
Maybe, but I feel like it didn't end up being as big as it wanted it to be, or as people wanted it to be.
That is very true. But
If it's a shame Baldur's Gate's on this because it's gonna win.
yeah, Baldur's Gate's definitely
Yeah.
getting this one. And if
I
not,
think
it's
so.
going to be Final Fantasy.
I love
Again,
Lies
just to
of
get thrown a
P.
bone. But
I love Lies of P. Why does Baldur's Gate have to be on this one? I know
I don't
why.
think
Because
Lies
Baldur's
of P would
Gate,
beat Final Fantasy anyways, though.
yeah,
being
Baldur's
honest.
Gate's an RPG. Lies of P isn't too much of an RPG, to be honest. I mean, it has the elements with leveling up and customizing your character and
It's
stuff.
kind of like
but
Dark Souls, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's it's very Bloodborne from what I saw from
Like-
you playing it.
Lies of
I
P
guess
is
that's
so
technically
good.
RPG, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh. Baldur's Gate.
It's going to be Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
Best fighting game.
We did that already.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat.
Best family game, it's going to be Mario. Oh, sorry, read the things up. Sorry. Get ahead of myself.
For the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform, Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, and Mario. Probably Mario.
How did
Or
Pikmin
Pikmin
even get
4.
on this? Is it a
Pikmin 4
family
is
game?
great. It is fantastic.
Well, I know it's great, but like, I don't know about you. When I played Pikmin as a kid, I was like scarred when your Pikmin die for the first time. Like
It's
you
totally
take,
different nowadays, though.
is it?
If you
Oh,
pl-
okay.
Yeah, there's no more
It's a
time.
lot
There's not a
easier.
time you don't have to 28 days or whatever to get off the planet.
Oh,
It's a lot more chill,
okay.
but I didn't beat it. I'm gonna be honest there. So
Party Animals looked fun.
I think it's gonna be
too,
Mario
but
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like Mario.
Mario, Luigi, Mario.
I think if the Bluey game had come out earlier, that'd be the one.
Best
This one's tough here.
sim/strategy. Advanced Wars 1 and 2. I don't know if that should be on there. City Skylines 2, Broken. Company of Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, and Pikmin 4. It's probably going to be Fire Emblem. Although,
No, I'm thinking City Skylines too.
I haven't heard a lot about the new Fire Emblem. I forgot it came out.
Oh, it's already on clearance at Walmart. I almost grabbed it the other day, but I'm even still. Then I was like,
You might
I'm
be
just
right.
kind of.
But wasn't City Skylines, like, really broken?
Was it when it came out? I don't know. I just know people love the first game.
I feel like it was really broken.
I know the first game is huge.
Advance Wars, now that is just remasters, pretty much. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
They did, like, art and stuff, right? But
Yeah, but it's still not like I mean, it's nothing big. But I have no idea what Company of Heroes is either. So
yeah.
Looks like a weird mobile game.
I'm gonna discount that one. And I mean, it could
You
be
know
Pikmin
what?
4 though. Here,
I'm
honestly,
giving
too,
it to
just 'cause it's-
Pikmin.
I'm going City Skylines here too. So I mean,
I would go to City Skylines. I think the people who like, if you like that game, you like really, really like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
all right, we're
but
moving on.
Pikmin. Best sports/racing. EA
Hot Wheels. I
Sports
don't even want to talk about it.
FC24, F1 23. Those are
Where
two
the hell's
different games.
FIFA?
Forza Motorsport, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged, and The Crew Motor Forest. Dude, I remember playing Hot Wheels Turbo Racing. That was the shit.
This game is pretty neat. I played Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. I downloaded it for my nephew on my Xbox. It's fun.
Yeah. If it's not
It
Hot
is
Wheels,
fun.
it's Forza.
Yeah,
Probably Forza. Yeah.
Forza is a big deal. I don't care. I think we're getting close to all the ones we do care about. Oh no, we're not quite there yet. I guess.
Best multiplayer for outstanding
Is
online
Baldur's Gate 3 multiplayer?
Yeah.
It is?
Yep,
How?
you can play in a party of 4 with all your friends.
Oh my god, I didn't even know that.
Wow.
It's kind of big, I'm not going to lie.
Oh
I
my
can tell you
God.
it's not going to be Diablo. So we have Baldur's Gate, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. The online stuff
It
for
might
Mario
be
was
Wonder
cool.
just to throw it a bone.
Street Fighter 6 did have really good rollback netcode and all that stuff Chad was saying.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate
But Baldur's
3.
Gate 3 is going to sweep so many of these awards. It's nuts.
I mean, the multiplayer in Baldur's Gate 3 it's the same game, just you don't control all 4 people. Like you split it up.
That's literally what all these are too.
I guess that's true.
Hey, if you're playing Baldur's Gate 3 like multiplayer and you're in some like fight and like one of your dudes like times out or like has to go, did they just get subbed out to like computer players, or do you have to like quit the mission? Like how does that work?
The host would control it.
Okay.
I do
That's
believe. Yeah.
Okay. Because if there was issues with that, that'd be like really lame-o. But no, that sounds okay then.
It's all up to the host, whoever's hosting that game.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Like Mario Wonder, like the couch co-op's like fun. Did you guys ever get to do the online?
Yeah, I didn't
stuff where
actually.
you can
Yeah,
get
but
like revived.
I'm assuming it's the same as the couch.
Yeah, I think. But did
You
I
can get
understand?
revived
It's
and
like
stuff.
they're like ghosts. Like
By
you're just kind of
randoms.
racing each other. You're not actually doing it.
That's super lame if it is. I haven't actually tried it yet, so
Yeah, that was my impression, but I hadn't done it yet, so I don't know.
There's kind of. It's pretty much what it is. There's a couple like little smaller things, but yeah. Diablo 4 is bad.
yeah.
So
Moving on.
It might
I think
be
it's Baldur's Gate.
it might be
I mean-
Street Fighter, but it's probably Baldur's Gate.
Party animals, baby! Woo!
It did look fun. I saw Germa play it. A lot of it. Best adaptation. Okay. Castlevania Nocturne, Gran Turismo, The Last of Us, Super Mario Bros. Movie, and Twisted Metal. Holy
It
moly.
most certainly will not be Twisted Metal. That show is
What?
ass. I am so mad about it.
Really?
So, spoiler alert here. The first fucking season of this show doesn't even get to the Twisted Metal tournament.
Oh, what a
It's-
cool show to call Twisted Metal.
I am so upset by it. It is just so stupid. Like, you get to the end of it, and there's a lady who's like, hey, my friend, the bad guy in the games, I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now. He's like, he's got this little competition he's setting up. But it's so just, there's nothing really about the games. And there's like, you got your characters, of course, but like, I guess it's neat to like set it up to, have the tournament ready. But you don't know you're getting a season 2 for one, unless you have a deal, I guess. But that's pretty ballsy to have the Twisted Metal competition in your season 2. I don't know. It just did not do it for me. The big draw is that
Damn.
BoJack Horseman, Will Arnett, is the voice of the clown. What's his name?
Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth. Yeah, which is funny. It is humorous. It's not a bad show. It's just a bad adaptation, and it's not going to win this.
Yeah, the Mario Bros. Movie was good too, but honestly, it's probably
It's going to be The Last of Us.
between The Last of Us and Castlevania.
I would agree. Last of Us was really well done, and I might be
think-
biased too because they did a large portion of the filming in my backyard around Calgary and Edmonton,
Are you in it?
Alberta, Canada. It's
I don't think it's
freaking
biased
sick.
at all. I think it's going to be it because it's the biggest thing on here.
It was
Or a
very
Mario
good.
movie, just because I don't know what their criteria is necessarily.
It's
but
probably going to be The Last of Us. Although Castlevania
it is going to be The Last of Us, I
really
think.
fucking good.
Yeah.
Castlevania's just been around for a minute at this point. I don't know how different this one is, but it looks like it's a different art style from the other Castlevania show, so I'll have to check it out. I did like the other Castlevania show, so.
Most anticipated game.
I just one thing
Hades
quick.
2, baby!
One
Sorry,
thing
couldn't read
quick.
that, guys. My bad.
I just wanted to say one quick thing. I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but Gran Turismo movie.
The,
Moving
So,
on.
do you know anything about it?
cover.
It's about the dude. It's like a dude who played a lot of Gran Turismo and then
Yes.
gets to be a real racer.
Yes, I know. That's stupid.
oh,
It is
wow.
stupid. Is it based on a real story, though, I think?
Maybe.
This one's tough. The most anticipated
There's,
game.
there's some
Take it
top
away, Eddie.
contenders. Most anticipated game: Final Fantasy VII Rebirth,
Yes.
Hades 2,
Which is part 2.
Yes, Daddy.
Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8.
I gotta go Hades 2. The game is seriously so popular, and people we didn't even know we were getting it because they're like, no, we're not doing DLC and whatnot. So everybody's just kind of been waiting.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but
yeah.
I'm also super hyped for that though too, so I can't complain.
Hades 2 is definitely a one game of the year. Like, it's going to be a top contender. It's going to be right behind it,
Hades
I'm sure.
is huge. Like, I cannot understate how good Hades is.
Tekken 8
And I mean, it could be
also,
Tekken 8 too.
Yeah, is a big deal, but fighting games...
Like a Dragon, I hear
it's
is pretty
not-
cool.
It's not as big of a thing.
I don't think anybody's anticipating a Star Wars game because they're so hit and miss.
Yeah.
It's very hard to be excited for a Star Wars game.
Yeah.
And it's a Ubisoft game too, so take that with a grain of salt.
I shouldn't even be on here then. Content creator of the year.
I think we're pretty much done then, because I don't know anything else about any of these.
We have Iron Mouse, People Make Games, Quackity, Spreen, and Cypher PK.
And Eddie Bunghetti, what are you doing on there?
I play a
The
game
last two
here
guys
and
look
there.
like fuckboys. I mean, all three of those guys look like fuckboys, so I'm not giving it to them. I'm going with the VTuber Iron Mouse, because People Make Games looks very corporate.
Looks like a 3 letters.
I've heard of Quackity, but the Iron Mouse is the only one I know. And she's
all three of them guys look like they're going to have allegations against them at some
cool
point.
person. Iron Mouse.
So yeah,
what do you think, Swandizzle?
Let's give it to the trash taste friend. Let's give it to Iron Mouse. Sure. I don't really care, to be honest.
I don't either. That's what I'm saying. I don't care about any of these last categories.
Best
Let's just keep going though.
esports game: Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, PUBG Mobile, and Valorant. PUBG Mobile?
Who's still playing PUBG?
I don't know.
It's probably gonna be
Wow.
Valorant. Counter-Strike
Yeah,
2.
probably.
If it was,
Valorant people are so sweaty.
if it
So
was
are League of Legends players.
if it
So are
was
Dota players.
CS:GO, that might be different. But I hear Counter-Strike 2 is not quite as good. Valorant's huge.
I could never get into
League and
Valorant,
Dota.
but I'd probably pick that one.
I don't even know what kind of game Valorant is, if I'm being honest.
It's like,
It's like Counter-Strike.
how would you say, Eddie?
It's like
Yeah.
Counter-Strike, but with like ultimates and stuff like Overwatch.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was like Overwatch. Yeah.
I know those people are super sweaty. Okay. We're moving on. Best esports athlete.
Best esports athlete. We have Faker,
I'm going.
Zywoo, Demon One, Hydra, Ruler. I don't know any of these guys. And
I'm going with
Imperial
Zywoo
Hall.
because they did him dirty on his picture here. Why does he look like that?
Zywoo, that's just his
Put
picture.
the angle
bro.
of the camera up. Come on. You guys did him dirty. Everybody else got a fine looking picture, but Zywoo.
Faker.
I don't know what CS:GO is either. Whatever he plays. So.
Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Oh. Yeah, I don't care about any of this.
Let's go with Faker. He looks-
Esports team. I do
like
not
his.
give a shit
I
either.
like the red
being honest.
accents.
Where's
Esports
Cloud9?
coach.
team. Yeah, C9. Evil Geniuses, Fnatic, Gaming, Gladiators. I don't know any. Next.
Next.
Yeah, all these are bad. I don't care about any of these that
Esports
we call it good.
coach. Next. Esports event. Evo, because fighting games are cool.
Woo!
That's it.
All right, we're done. Thank
Okay.
God. It was almost 2 hours.
Hell
Longest
yeah.
one yet, right?
We
Love
always do this shit. Okay. So that's it. That's our thoughts and predictions for the Game Awards. Feel free to call us names in the comments because we didn't like every video game known to man.
I'm excited to see where our
It'll be
our
fun.
things actually line up.
It'll be
Be
fun.
another
Kingdom,
fun
baby.
stream,
I'm sure
so-
there's going to be some decisions that are just going to make me very upset. But
I'm
it'll
gonna be
be okay.
baffled. I'm sure at least one point. So
You know, when Faker loses Esports Player of the Year, I'm going to be devastated. But
no, come on. It's clearly. I'm going with my man Zywoo still. I'm gonna be so upset if it's not Zywoo.
Zywoo the GOAT.
Oh my God. All right, are we done here then? Is that it? We
Let's
good?
get out of here. Thank you everybody for watching. Support my friends here. We have Swandizzle and Sechsy Studios. You can find them both on YouTube,
Everything.
TikTok, Twitch for Anthony Sechsy Studios. He does Twitch sometimes. Yeah, just look us up. Oh, shit's linked at whatever. Google.
You'll find us.
You Google me, you'll find me on everything. So
Swandizzle, Swandizzle, Sechsy Studios, SECHSY space.
nope, no space. It's a single space.
Studios.
Anyways, I gotta pee.
Thank you. He has to pee. Thank you for all my Patreon supporters. Shout out Swandizzle. He's the only one. You really didn't have to.
I wanted that exclusive content, Mr. Bunghetti. I wanted the behind the scenes. I wanted the only feet. I'm here for it all, buddy.
I don't remember one of those things, but I won't let them know which one it is. Okay.
Well, you're just gonna have to subscribe to find out.
That's true. And what better time to do it than right now as we close out the 5th? This is the 5th, yes, the 5th episode of the BunghettiCast. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye.